In Eswatini, formerly Swaziland, the Treasurer General of the banned political party, People's United Democratic Movement, or PUDEMO, says citizens want a democracy where they choose their own leaders to administer the affairs of the country. Velaphi Mamba, who is also a human rights activist, says only a genuine dialogue aimed at establishing a democracy will resolve ongoing political tensions. He warned that citizens do not accept the status quo where King Mswati III remains the absolute monarch. His remarks come after reports that the government does not appear interested in an all-inclusive dialogue as recommended by the Southern African Development Community, or SADC. Velaphi Mamba tells me that the government must listen to calls by the citizens for democratic reforms.
I want to make it clear that the leaders of the mass democratic movement in Eswatini are very clear that there is no resolution to the political crisis in the country that will come aside from one that results in a new democratic template for the country. We have seen in recent times that since the June 2021 massacre, the king and the Tingunda royal regime have been trying to sanitize the archaic feudal Tingunda system of government by doing a lot of things, including trying to make sure that people attend cultural events and really making sure that they are giving people, basically buying them off. And most recently we saw that the king argued for the country to be removed from the SADC Troika organ on politics, defense and security. Now, this is in the context of the issues, the political and economic issues that underpin the struggle for democratization in Swaziland have still not been resolved.
Velaphi, a dialogue is supposed to be peaceful. Some are suggesting that by saying that if the king does not engage in direct dialogue with pro-democracy activists who will be overthrown, that is tantamount to threatening the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of Eswatini.
Peter, the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Eswatini does not belong to the king. It belongs to the people of Swaziland collectively. It does not belong to the royal aristocracy in Swaziland.
But then supporters are saying you cannot threaten mayhem, or so to speak, to dethrone somebody just because you don't share the same political philosophy with them.
We are not threatening the king. We are merely stating what is going to happen if he continues to hog onto the sovereignty of the country. Like I've said, Peter, the country does not belong to the royal family. In 1973, the father to the current king abrogated the national constitution and took all powers of state and formalized those powers of state around himself in the 2005 constitution. And there was never a referendum around that. So that's not the will of the Swazi people. The Swazi people have a right to agitate for the second independence of the country.
But what do you say? But what do you say to those who are of the opinion that countries in Southern African region, including Lesotho, have had issues where they have kings and then they have prime ministers, similar to what is being practiced in the United Kingdom, and you could have a similar situation where you have a prime minister who leads the government business and the king will remain?
The Swazi people will have in the past called for exactly that kind of stratification of our politics. But this king has been very stubborn and is refusing to give even an inch in terms of sharing and distributing power with the people of Swaziland. And we are saying, if you don't adapt, you die. If you don't bend, you break. So we are not going to tolerate consistently and forever a king who doesn't want to listen to the people. So we are saying in very unequivocal terms, Peter, that the time for change has come in Swaziland. Nobody is going to stand in the way of that change. And our message is that the king has to sit down with the people and chart a new for the country. And my message was that if he fails to do that, all necessary means are going to be taken to make sure that he is removed. We don't owe the king anything. Like I have said, the country doesn't belong to him. The country doesn't belong to his family, nor does it belong to his father. The country belongs to Mswati, the people of Swaziland. When we talk about sovereignty, Peter, we talk about the collective sovereignty of the Swazi people as a nation state, not a Swazi people tied like Siamese twins to the royal family. And that's the conversation we want to have.
Velaphi Mamba is the Treasurer General of Pudemo. He spoke with me from Johannesburg, South Africa.